Real networking supersizes your business exponentially. It helps you to grow in ways that you never even thought possibly and faster than you almost ever could have even imagined. It's one of those areas, it's one of those topics that a lot of us say we're too busy to do. It's something that we just don't do. It's an action we don't take. We don't reach out to people and connect with them when that is truly the way I and other people have grown their business and scaled their business in ways that, and faster than they could hardly imagine. A friend of mine just won the school games, if you know what the school community and the school platform is. And she did it by networking and going to her network and building a network over decades of business experience. And so few of us get locked into just building our business and only ever engaging and listening to or getting feedback from people either in our business, which is a huge challenge and area, keeps us stuck at a certain size and a certain level, or people in our industry. I had the good fortune of learning early on that in my corporate career that our skills that we learn and acquire in one business and one industry are extremely transferable and sometimes exponentially more valuable in a different or sister or brother industry, right? Something slightly related but different. Nowadays, there's so many industries and so many niches and so many places that we can grow and shine and thrive and build our business. But we do that through networking. We do that by connecting with other human beings. As much as we like to think that business is so serious and so everything, and so by the book and strict, and you got to do this if you want to be successful, that's poppycock. We can be successful on our own terms in so many different ways. And one of those tools and skills that I personally believe we all need to hone in on, and me too, I'm working on this actually right now in a team in a project called the 100, where I need to get out of my comfort zone because it's really comfortable when we're in our own little bubble, our own little business bubble, our own little industry bubble. But the truth is, we learn everything outside our comfort zone. And so we might as well get used to it. And one of the best ways we can do that, if we want to really exponentially and grow and speed up the process of building our business and taking it to the next level, it means we have to get to the next level. And that usually falls into several areas, but there's so many paths and ways you can go about it. But networking is something all of us can do, no matter how introverted we are, no matter how scared we are to interact with other people, no matter how whatever false beliefs we've got. We can all network. We can all start small and build our network. Our network is truly and indeed our net worth. The people that you have access to, the businesses, the companies, the platforms you have access to contribute to how much value you add to the world, which in turn determines how successful your business is going to be. Because business is just an exchange of value, right? It's all energy. It's all an exchange of value. So what do I mean by real networking? I mean being yourself, authentic you, connecting with like-minded people, networking, being interested in them first. You might be the first to reach out, but ask a question. Asking a question. And nowadays with the internet, it's so easy to network. You don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home or the comfort of your own office. You just have to say, okay, this is a priority. So if we're engaging in something, and I find the higher up we go in an organization, the less likely we are to be engaging in social media. Why? Who the heck has time? I don't know about you. I was so glad that I was coming up in my career and building my businesses. There wasn't an internet. Now, there's a lot of advantages to having the internet. I believe everyone should have an online and an offline presence with respect to their business and the multiple streams of income they use to create the life that they want. But I also know that there's too much noise nowadays. And so we want to have a process for breaking through the noise. And that's part of what we talk about in our Supersize Your Business community on the school platform. Why do I love the school platform? Because it eliminates all the BS and noise that just distracts us from creating the life that we want, the business that we want, everything that we want. So my biggest tips for networking, and what we're going to do today is we are going to reach out to 3 people. I don't care how you reach out to 3 people. Pick up the phone, write them a letter. I don't know about you, but the more digitalized the world gets, the more I love getting handwritten notes or cards or letters. Why? Because almost nobody does it anymore. You want to stand out in a really big way. When you meet somebody, and you appreciate the conversation you had with them, write them a handwritten thank you note. Say, hey, I loved meeting you at XYZ, wherever you met them, or maybe you ran into them on a park bench, whatever it is. Send them either a text or a card. I will tell you, if you really want to impress people, you send them a physical handwritten card. Don't have to believe me, but I dare you to try it out and test it out a little bit. Some of my favorite people that I network with today and over the course of my long career and long lifetime are people that I appreciate so much. And sometimes we forget to let them know how grateful we are that they have been a part of our life and a part of our experiences. So first and foremost, be curious about other people. Ask them questions and then really listen to them, right? Do you do this with your employees? Do you do this with your teammates? Do you do this with your peers? Do you do this with everybody? Well, you ought to. I have to remind myself sometimes to do that. Add value first. Add value to anybody you want to form a relationship with first. Find a way that you can help them. There's always a way that we can help people, even if it's just listening to them and being a sounding board and then reflecting back what you heard them say. Sometimes we just need to hear it come out of our own mouth because we always know what to do. I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of years telling myself, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So guess what happened? I didn't know what to do. But then I realized, oh my gosh, I am being my own bottleneck. Knock that off, flip the switch, and I always figure things out. I always find a solution. There's always a solution. Everything is figure outable. Things like that. So add value first before you ever would want to ask the other person for anything. I say it's like our investment in our self bank account. We give, pay, and put out what we want in order to receive it when we actually need it. Build relationships in your network before you need it. This is something I learned early on in my corporate career. When I lost my first job and was looking for a move, I had not done enough networking outside of the company I was in. I'd spent 5 years there, and all of my networking, all my time and energy was spent there learning about that particular business, industry, company, and how it worked there. I did some internal interviewing with that organization when I knew it was time for me to move on to something different, and discovered I didn't want to stay with that company for the rest of my corporate career. And so that was a part of the motivation of looking outside of my industry to switch to a different industry. And I realized that all of the skills and training and things I'd learned in my life so far, plus the corporation that I was with, were extremely valuable skills in other businesses and other industries. Similar businesses, but similar function, different industry. And that led me to understand how we can exponentially grow by looking outside of our industry, taking something we learned in the industry we're in and applying it in another industry. Mind blown. But I actually tripled my salary and got a signing bonus that was nearly double my salary at the previous company. So I would say there's lessons that we learn along the way if we're willing to look for them that are incredibly valuable. One, network with other people. And I think we should network a level or two up from where we are. So if you're building a business and you're at $1 million in sales and grow, pretty much gross sales, you're $1 million company, instead of just networking with $1 million companies, the same size companies in your same industry, look for that size companies in other industries because they've already solved some of the problems that you're just coming up against as you go from the 1 to 5 to 10 to $25 million mark. All right. So what are we going to do today? We are going to comment in the we are going to share in the comments below somebody that you appreciate, somebody in your network that you totally appreciate. You're going to tag them. They might not be on social media. If they're not, write them that handwritten card and send it to them and tell them, I am so grateful you are in my life because of XYZ or X. It doesn't have to be complicated. 1 sentence, 2 sentences, sign your name, put a stamp on it, mail it. All right. I'm preaching to the choir probably. All right. That's it for today. I want to hear your stories about networking. What's worked really, really well for you? What are you struggling with or what are you challenged with? Or if you've got a win with respect to networking, share that in the comments below to motivate the rest of us as well. All right. Have an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.